President Donald Trump and Dan Crenshaw have been touting red flag gun laws for this country after two recent tragedies happened. We're going to ask the Trump supporters themselves what they think about these calls for gun control on law-abiding citizens in this country.
Take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system, because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
What do you think about Trump's call for gun control in the form of red flag gun laws?
Not for it at all.
Why not?
Anyone can be determined to be a threat. It's too subjective, so definitely not for it.
It would be only the Democrats' way of getting their foot in the door and getting a hold of all of our other rights and liberties.
Right, absolutely, because Dan Crenshaw came out and he was like, oh, it's the Republican version of red flag laws. We're going to have due process and it'll be different. Do you believe him?
Not at all. I mean, I don't even know what the criteria would be for what would throw up a red flag.
I think once you start any type of gun regulation, it's a slippery slope. You know, one thing leads to another, and it's in the Constitution, plain and simple. So
shall not be infringed. These are easy words to understand.
Pretty straightforward, you would think, but our friends on the left can't seem to understand that.
Well, they have a lot of trouble reading in the first place.
Fair enough.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control in the form of red flag gun laws?
I'm not sure I'm very happy with that.
Right. So you support Trump.
Yeah, I
you vote
support
for
Trump.
him,
Yeah.
but you're willing to say, Trump, this is not okay.
He's caving. I really can't hear you too good, Caitlin.
So you said he's caving.
I think so, yeah.
What do you think about Trump's red flag gun laws that he wants to impose?
I'm not entirely sure about that. It's too quick. I can really think about that. Yeah.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control in the form of red flag gun laws?
I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I don't think there should be any gun restriction. Background checks, it's never going to work.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control when he talks about red flag laws?
I am a little bit of a concern, but there is a point with keeping guns out of hands of mentally ill people. But I do think due process needs to be respected above all else. Unless due process is respected, I'm not for it whatsoever.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control in the form of red flag laws?
Personally, I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
To answer your question.
Do you support any calls for gun control?
Some.
You got to take that flag off. Take that off. That is specifically anti-gun control flag. Don't tread on me. But he supports treading on him. Come on, guys. Why do you think he would support something like that?
I don't know.
You don't look too happy. So he recently started saying he supports that after the Dayton and the El Paso shootings. You guys know about those, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. He
I
recently.
think they were false flags. I thought they were.
Weird, right? So, are you willing to say to Trump, I support you, I'm going to vote for you, but no more gun control?
Oh, yeah. That's a really good idea.
Absolutely. What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control when he mentioned red flag gun laws?
It depends. It could be a problem. It could be a problem.
Why do you say that?
Because someone's got to put limits on this, and once you give control to somebody else, then you don't have control.
So you're a Trump supporter.
Yes, sir.
But
yes,
you
ma'am.
are able. He misgendered me. I can't believe it. I'm triggered as hell right now. Okay, so you're willing to say, I support Trump, I will vote for him, but I can call him out when he does something wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think about Donald Trump's call for gun control in the form of red flag gun laws?
I don't know. I believe it's not the guns. I think it's the people.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I think it's mental health in America. Honestly, like a gun's not going to go down the street and shoot somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's physics, that's science that liberals claim they're all about here. Yeah. So if he did implement more gun control, would you be willing to call him out on it and say, Trump, this isn't what I voted you in for?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're a Trump supporter, right?
Yes.
And you support the Second Amendment?
Correct.
but you're willing to stand up and say, Trump, don't do this, it's wrong.
Correct. I would think it's a bad thing for him to do.
Do you think it's kind of all talk, trying to just appease the other side?
Yes, I think he's just trying to get them off his back and just kind of keep everybody down the middle again.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control in the form of red flag gun laws?
I noticed he recently pointed out Chris Cuomo, who brought up that he would have been flagged for red flag laws. And interestingly enough, that he is very anti-gun and wants gun control himself. So under these laws, I think Trump has to be careful in an election coming up to sound appeasing, but realistically, I don't think he's going to budge much because shall not be infringed is very clearly there. I think he knows that, and I think he does have the back of the Second Amendment, to be perfectly honest.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control in the form of red flag laws?
Well, he turned the tide on that today with his comment on Fredo, right. So I think Fredo should have his guns confiscated, put the red law to effect and show how it works. And I think it's going to put a shock through the Dems and the lefties and make them realize that this thing that they're pushing for isn't exactly going to work in their favor.
Okay, so you're
Especially
against
when they
them.
go crazy like he did.
Absolutely.
He's a
So
madman.
Trump tweeting that out at Fredo is a good example of how they can be abused, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not a proponent of red flag laws, never have been, but we'll see how it all develops.
No, don't like it because it gives too much freedom for the cops to be able to kind of make the determination what is a red flag and what isn't.
So you're willing to say, I support you, Trump. I support you. I will vote for you. But this is not okay.
Right, absolutely.
All right, perfect. All right, two for two.
I follow you on YouTube. I love you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so he is subscribed. Do you have notifications on?
Yes.
Okay, he has notifications on. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified for every single video we upload. Are you guys going to call him out on that?
My voice is a little one, but I would be pissed.
It's gonna fall on deaf ears, anyways.
Well, you guys will stand up and say, Trump, we support you, but this one is not okay.
Yeah, for sure.
The Second Amendment is probably one of the most important things, for sure.
Absolutely.
I would certainly say it was a bad move if he turned around and did that. Do I think he's going to do it? No, but you're right. You bring it up as a proposal. If he does that, I'm going to sit and say, Trump, I think you messed up on that one, honestly.
What do you think about Trump's calls for red flag laws?
I'm undecided on that. Okay. I have to see more specifics.
Okay. What more, I guess, are you questioning about them?
Can you repeat that?
What more information do you need from them? Because it's gun control.
Well, the devil's in the details.
Okay.
Until you see exactly what they want to propose, then I can make up my mind. But overall, I'm kind of concerned on limiting us to own a weapon.
Are you guys willing to look in the camera and tell Trump to stop the calls for gun control in the form of red flag gun laws?
Yes.
Sure.
Because Chicago is the strictest gun laws in the country, and it does nothing. They have the highest crime in the country still.
Right. Well, actually, Baltimore is the same thing. LA is pretty bad. All these countries have.
All the big cities are terrible.
Right. So why do you think he's calling for red flag gun laws?
I think he's feeling pressure from some more moderate Republicans in Congress, but the more conservative ones like the Freedom Caucus don't want that at all.
What do you think about Trump's calls for red flag laws?
I think it's a disgrace, but if it's going to help school shootings and all that kind of stuff, then we might as well. But it's going to cause a bunch of people that are just friends of ours, if they don't agree with our agenda or what we believe in, and they call in the state and say, hey, this guy's a bad guy. He comes and takes our guns from us. It's not constitutional.
What do you think about Trump's calls for gun control when he talks about supporting red flag laws?
I don't agree with that, honestly. I really don't.
Yeah, I personally don't agree with that either.
Why not?
Because, well, I'm a big constitutionalist, so I follow the Constitution to the T, and it says to not be infringed, so I feel that's what we should follow. I do feel he's just saying it maybe to broaden his audience, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe just throw it out there, see what people think. If they eat it up, run with it. If they don't, not. But I feel most of his supporters too are against his red flag policy.
They are. I've only talked to 2 people here today, out of the people I've talked to, that were trying to defend it to me. And boy, no, you can't defend gun control with me. You can't do that. If he were to go along with it if it wasn't just here's a bone, make you happy after two tragedies that are terrible, terrible tragedies that happened? Are you going to call him out on it, or are you going to say this isn't okay?
Of course. See, I love Trump. I don't worship him, you know what I'm saying? He just aligns mostly with what I believe in, and he's the perfect or the right candidate in my mind. If he does something wrong, I'm going to call it out just like any other person would, and if he does something right, I'm going to be cheering louder than anybody else, though, you know what I'm saying? So it's just about not being because you can be brainwashed by the right as well, you know what I'm saying? So you need to just see the truth. If he's doing something bad that you don't agree with, then you need to say it. Like the red flag thing, I don't agree with that.
What bothers me, and maybe some of you might get upset about this, is that we have to be able to call out Republicans. We have to be able to call out people in our side on things that matter, on things that truly matter in this country. Trump should not be supporting gun control in any form. No Republican should. They shouldn't be doing it, and we have to call them out because that impacts us. That determines if we are able to defend ourselves or not. Trump supporters are all the time called terrorists, homophobics. We are called the worst people in the country. Imagine if your liberal family member is in a state where they implement red flag gun laws, or let's pretend it's through the whole nation, and your liberal family member goes to the police and says they're dangerous, they're a Trump supporter, look at their social media posts, and then the cops come and take your guns. This is unacceptable from Trump supporters to be supporting this, but that is not the response I've been getting today. It's actually been the opposite, that people have been calling out Trump. So I really urge everybody to get on Facebook, write a status even, get on Twitter, write to Trump, just post it out there. You don't support this. Let him know that you're his base and you don't support gun control. So tell me where you got this shirt.
I got it from InfoWarsStore.com.
And doing so, not only does he have a super cool shirt right now, I mean, who doesn't want a shirt with the Forbidden Man's name right out on front?
Completely forbidden man.
Yes, but you're wearing his shirt because you're brave. Absolutely. You're not scared of the censorship. Absolutely. You're saying, come and take it. Come and take my social media. Come and do it.
Can't take me.
Yeah.
Not gonna get me.
Yeah, they can't take the shirt away from him. Not yet. We haven't granted the government the
brain force before I came down here, so I'm juiced up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're ready to go. Okay, so everything he just mentioned, you can get at InfoWarsStore.com. Not only do you have the greatest supplements ever, the greatest t-shirts ever, but he's supporting my work to come out here to every single Trump rally. Absolutely. Get the voices of the Trump supporters themselves, so CNN isn't getting a hold of it, trying to spin the narrative. That's not what's going on here. He is helping me come out here, give Trump supporters a voice when they're being silenced on social media every single day. We're going to run in 2020, and it's because...
I lost my YouTube account for making playlists and watching videos, and they deleted my entire account.
We have to make sure this ends, guys, and we can't do that without your support at InfoWarsStore.com.